Damn, that's good. So smooth.
Oh, yeah. It's very smooth. You really can't beat that finish.
All right, man. You need another one?
What's up, everybody? Mike Renner alongside Austin Gayle, the host of PFF's 2-for-1 Drafts podcast, our rookie and draft prospects podcast. And today we're doing a little role reversal. We're breaking down Austin's mock draft, first mock draft of the season.
Yep, first mock draft on PFF.com. And remember, this is not a prediction mock draft. This is what I would do if I was the GM of all 32 NFL teams. It's not going to look like other mock drafts. This is heavily predicated on PFF's latest top 150 big board. A lot of good names in here. People are taking the best player available more often than not.
I was going to say, let's kick it off. No trades in this mock. Number 1, Bengals stay at 1. Joe Burrow, no brainer.
I mean, Bengals fans should get Joe Burrow's name tattooed on their necks at this point. He is going number 1 overall to Cincinnati. He earned the best single-season passing grade we've ever seen from a college quarterback, and that dates back to 2014 when we first started grading at the college level. Joe Burrow, there aren't a lot of cons in his game. He's going to test well at the combine, too. I think he'll surprise some people in that regard. Joe Burrow, a lock for number 1.
I would say, I'm not even sure he's going to test at the combine. You don't even need to at this point. On to number 2, Washington Redskins, Chase Young, edge defender, Ohio State.
Talking to George Jehuri and Eric Eager, the data scientists here at PFF, there's a discussion between Chase Young and Isaiah Simmons as the top defensive prospect in this class. But I think Chase Young's pass rushing ability is just too good for the Redskins to pass up. He earned the best single-season PFF pass rushing grade we've ever seen from an edge defender this past season. I think he's just scratching the surface. The ceiling is even higher in the NFL.
I was going to say, the key here is we've seen pass rush grade translate to the NFL better than any other position. So from that perspective, very safe pick there. Number 3, Ohio State cornerback Jeffery Okuda. We've been talking about this as the number 3 overall pick way back, at the start of the draft season. I think people are starting to come around.
This mock draft doesn't include trades, but I think this is a prime trade down spot for the Detroit Lions. But if they do stick at number 3, I think Jeffery Okuda of Ohio State is the Lions guy. He's got the best man coverage skills in this class, earned high grades this past season when tested, and former 5-star pedigree. He's going to test well at the combine. There's not a lot of negatives. I can't bring up a lot of negatives with Jeffery Okuda. If they stay put at number 3, I think they'd call Okuda's name.
I was going to say, even if they maybe get down to here, you could still see the Lions getting Jeffery Okuda, which would be a huge draft for them. All right, on to number 4, New York Giants. Giants fans are going to get a little mad here. Jerry Jeudy, Alabama, but you're getting the number 1 wide receiver, Jerry Jeudy.
Exactly. I mean, Giants fans are screaming offensive line here, screaming offensive tackle, but Jerry Jeudy is a better prospect than any offensive tackle in this class. Just check PFF's big board, and do not draft for need in the NFL draft. Draft the best players available, and Jerry Jeudy is exactly that, a true number 1 at the next level, PFF's top receiver in this class.
And I think what we've seen also from our grades translating is wide receivers translate a lot quicker than offensive line in terms of the learning curve you see at the NFL level. So on to number 5 here, Miami Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa, injury, a concern, put an asterisk next to his name. We just won't know until the medicals get cleared, but pretty much a no-brainer here if he's on the board.
In April's draft, I think the Dolphins are going to have to trade up if they do want to call Tua Tagovailoa's name in the 2020 NFL draft, but no trades in this mock. If they stay put at 5 and Tua Tagovailoa is on the board, they sprint the card in. Yes, there's an injury risk, but this is the only quarterback in this class with 2 years of 90.0 plus grading, and he did it in the SEC. Tua Tagovailoa is a special quarterback prospect, one you can't pass up at number 5.
Yeah, definitely agree on that one. All right, on to number 6. Chargers, no QB here. Riding with Tyrod. Isaiah Simmons, though, from Clemson, like you said, one of the most special players along with Chase Young in this draft and along the defensive side of the ball.
I think in April's draft, the Chargers here do pick Justin Herbert. I think there's a good chance he does that. He does crack the top 10. If not, he's traded up for, even above the number 6 pick. But he didn't even crack the top 25 on PFF's big board. There are legitimate concerns with Justin Herbert's game. He's not a top 20 player in this class. And for that reason, Chargers go BPA. Isaiah Simmons is the second best, or arguably the best defensive prospect in this class. Great coverage ability, great versatility. Chargers already run a ton of dime. Throw Isaiah Simmons in the mix. This is going to be one of the best defenses in the NFL from a coverage standpoint, if healthy.
I was going to say, selfishly, I just want to see this because him alongside Derwin James, that's schoolyard football right there. I just want to see it. All right, on to number 7, Carolina Panthers. Defensive tackle, Derek Brown. Pair him alongside Kawan Short. Get that defensive line back to where it was a few years ago.
This is where need really meets best player available. Derek Brown is a top 10 player in this class, and I think the Carolina Panthers want to add interior defensive line talent. Derek Brown, earned very high grades this past season. There's some question marks with Does he have the high end as a premier pass rusher? But I think regardless, the floor for Derrick Brown is very high. He's a monster in the middle, one of the strongest players, if not the strongest defensive player in this class. Really do like Derrick Brown. I think the fit makes sense for Carolina.
Yeah, that one makes a little too much sense here. All right, on to number 8. CeeDee Lamb, Oklahoma wide receiver, pairing back with Kyler Murray. Can't hate that. That connection was special a couple years ago. Now we can see it again.
It's reunion season in Arizona. In the desert, we got CeeDee Lamb getting back with Kyler Murray. CeeDee Lamb, though not the best receiver in this class, right behind Jerry Jeudy, still a top 10 player. And at number 8, yes, they added Andy Isabella in the second round this past year, but keep throwing draft resource at the wide receiver position, especially when you have like a very good talent in CeeDee Lamb. Love what he can do before the catch and after the catch. Very solid all around. I think he immediately upgrades that offense.
I would say Christian Kirk, Larry Fitzgerald don't have a lot of impact guys there on the outside. CeeDee Lamb can be that for them. All right, on to number 9, Jacksonville Jaguars. Devonte Kinlaw, defensive interior. Last 2 first-round picks for the Jacksonville Jaguars have been on the defensive line. What do you guys say to Jags fans who are like, we don't want to keep investing there?
This guy's a lot better. I mean, David Bryant can't hold this guy's job. I mean, Javon
better than Josh Allen?
Yeah, I think maybe not better than Josh Allen, but Javon Kinlaw inside of Josh Allen, I think, would be a very special pairing. And Javon Kinlaw, 6'6", 315 pounds, built in the lab, as you say, for the defensive tackle position, athletic, and still very raw. And I think it's a kind of a positive thing that he's raw because his production is still absurd. He's earned high pass rushing grades in each of the past 2 years at South Carolina, and he's done it with like 1 or 2 moves. Give this guy a full toolbox and let him still be 6'6", 315 pounds at the next level. I think he's a game changer, and you don't pass up on game changers when you've drafted the same position in previous drafts.
No, I can't hate on that pick for the Jaguars. All right, on to number 10. Tackle comes off the board here. Andrew Thomas from Georgia, the top tackle on our board. Greg Robinson ain't coming back anytime soon. So I think the need there at tackle pretty obvious.
Yeah, Andrew Thomas, I think is another opportunity here for the Cleveland Browns where need really does meet best player available. Andrew Thomas, the best offensive tackle, as you said, in this draft class. A smooth-moving, athletic offensive tackle that I think still needs work from a footwork perspective, but I do think Andrew Thomas immediately upgrades that offensive line, at least in the next 2 or 3 years. And Greg Robinson, like you said, not coming back anytime soon. So I think Andrew Thomas to Cleveland at 10 makes sense.
No, say this tackle class so deep, Browns are in a very good position to get one at number 10.
As are the Jets.
Yes, as are the Jets, and they need one as well. Jedrick Wills, Alabama, probably the most athletic offensive lineman in this draft. We'll see here at the Combine this week. But yes, the wide receivers off the board already in this one. I think at that point, if the top 2 are off, offensive tackle makes too much sense.
I will say this. I think PFF's big board, NFL Talent Evaluator's big board will change after the Combine because Jedrick Wills is going to light this thing on fire. He could be PFF's offensive tackle 1, depending on how he tests. But I think if he's there at 11, the Jets sprint the card in, an explosive, athletic offensive tackle that in his own right is still raw, still very young, but the ceiling for this kid is future Hall of Famer. I mean, he's that good. He has all of the tools to really have that level of success in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean, I am very excited. Not a lot of people excited to watch offensive line with Combine. I'm excited. All right, on to number 12, Oakland Raiders, Laviska Shenault, the monster after the catch. Not polished, but I think he could work in John Gruden's offense.
Yeah, I think Laviska Shenault is one of my favorite picks in this mock draft because I think he needs to be with a creative offensive coordinator that would throw the ball at him in droves. And we've seen John Gruden prioritize Brandon LaFell in an offense. You give him a guy like Laviska Shenault, you're going to see him do some things. He can get involved in the backfield, slot, outside. He's a monster after the catch. You comped him to Saquon Barkley in this class. He's going to blow up the Combine. I think 12th overall, you get yourself a difference maker at the receiver position. No, not receiver position. Offensive weapon, because this guy really can do it all.
All right, on to number 13, Indianapolis Colts. Josh Jones, they go the Houston offensive tackle, been moving up boards this season, had a great senior year, crushed the Senior Bowl, passed out with flying colors. I think he's NFL ready, and with Anthony Castonzo hitting free agency, very well could be the pick.
Yeah, and Josh Jones is the 14th best player on PFF's latest big board at 13. I think you sprint the card in. Anthony Castonzo, whether he leaves via free agency or retires, leaves an opening at offensive tackle, and I think it's never a bad time to start investing in the offensive line. We see time and time again, you don't need it until you need it, and I think the Colts would be smart, even though they have Quentin Nelson, even though Braden Smith has developed, to throw another pick at Josh Jones because he's just that good of a player, especially at 13.
I was going to say, he's been also productive as a pass protector, which some of these guys have pass protection issues. I think he could come in a little more NFL ready. All right, on to number 14. We have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going A.J. Epinesa. Shaquille Barrett hitting free agency. No sure thing to come back there for them. Very much him Jason Pierre-Paul, big defensive ends that you can do a lot with.
Yeah, I think Shaq Barrett could easily jump at a lucrative contract in free agency, but regardless, again, don't bring up need for these guys.
Yeah.
AJ Epinesa is very, very good, and I think he would fill need, coincidentally for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's the second best edge defender in this class. I call him the big fundamental. This guy's got great technique, great hands, and he's very strong. I think he's going to be consistent at the next level. I think we've comped him to Trey Flowers. I feel good about that comp from a production standpoint. Can play the run very well. Will add as a pass rusher. I think Epinesa, again, second best edge defender in this class at 14. Let's do it.
And the thing about Trey Flowers is he played a lot of 3-tech when he was with New England. Can do that. I think AJ Epinesa, similar skill set. If you want to kick him inside, won't look out of place. On to number 15, where the Denver Broncos add some speed on the opposite side of Courtland Sutton. I know they're looking for that. Henry Ruggs, well, he's got more speed than anyone else in this class.
I think this would be a dream scenario for the Denver Broncos at 15 because Henry Ruggs is very, very good. Fourth best receiver in this class according to PFF's latest big board, but getting him at 15 is very impressive. Adds a ton of speed, and I honestly think he's improved as a route runner. I think he's going to add legit wide receiver 2 potential early in his career and could be a wide receiver 1 down the road. He's still getting better, still very raw, but his rate stats are absurd. He had 24 touchdowns on under 100 receptions. This guy can really, really move the needle from a big play standpoint. I think Denver jumps at the opportunity.
I think this receiver class, we're going to see it be different than last year's in terms of where they're drafted. Guys got pushed down last year because a lot were similar. I think guys are almost going to get pushed up this year because there's going to be a lot of guys in the 4.3s and speed.
Yes.
Well, it don't last long in the draft. All right, on to number 16. LSU cornerback, CB, Christian Fulton goes to the Atlanta Falcons. A little bit of a need there. Isaiah Oliver just hasn't been up to snuff for them.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a need, and also Christian Fulton, a very, very good player. I think there's some concerns on his tape these past 2 seasons, handling some quicker twitch guys, but regardless, this guy has a very high floor at the next level, in my opinion. I think he's going to test well. Great in man coverage, has a ton of man coverage experience, and is ranked high on PFF's big board because of that. I think Christian Fulton battled some injuries this past year, but when healthy, I think this guy's one of the better man corners in this class.
Yeah, I would say they played more man this year than anyone else in college football. Christian Fulton excused himself very well. May not have the high end that other people do, but I think his floor is about as high as anyone in this class. All right, on to number 17, LSU safety, Grant Delpit, the wingspan, the tight end eraser. He brings a lot to the table, but also brings some missed tackles.
Yeah, I think Dallas Cowboys fans might want Xavier McKinney here. I'll go out and say it, but Grant Delpit is the best safety in this class, and I think at 17, the value really makes sense. Yes, he has the missed tackles problem, and it's not just a 2019 issue. This is a 2018 issue. He's missed tackles at a high rate over the past 2 seasons, but what he does do is get in a position to make a ton of tackles. His range, his instincts, his sideline ability. I also think he's tough. He does not approach tackles in a wimpy way. This guy comes in ready to bring the heat and does have a little bit of a missed tackle problem, but I do think he's aggressive, tough, instincts, range. I mean, you're not finding that in a lot of safety classes. Grant Delpit, the best safety in this class, bring him to Dallas.
I was going to say, a little skinnier, he has some filling out to do. And then maybe those missed tackle problems go away a little bit.
The tattoos are pretty skinny.
All right, on to number 18, Curtis Weaver, Boise State. Big week coming up for him at the Combine. He goes to the Miami Dolphins, go to value position after they get Tua Tagovailoa top 5 edge. Obviously need there. Well, I mean, everything probably need for the Dolphins.
I mean, Dolphins fans, I'm going to say right now, I know you're going to hate this pick. You're not going to see Curtis Weaver in the first round in a ton of mock drafts. You're not going to see him on the first round in a ton of big boards. Curtis Weaver, though, is a first-round talent on PFF's big board for the production. He doesn't have the body type. He's not going to blow the doors off the testing in Indianapolis, but the dude has production. He beat up on the opposition he could play. He couldn't play in the SEC. He could only play the competition ahead, and he dominated in the Mountain West. Had pass rushing grades up there with Chase Young. If Chase Young wasn't an alien, we'd be talking about Curtis Weaver breaking PFF's pass rushing grades. I think Curtis Weaver, maybe not the sexy pick the Dolphins wanted, but at 18, really, really do like him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of his game. Obviously, probably won't go there in the real draft. On to Julian Love, edge rusher from Notre Dame, going to the Oakland Raiders. Not getting a ton of hype, but I think after this week, we might see that start to change.
Yes, I think you've said it before, but K'Lavon Chaisson getting a ton of hype for this upside, this athletic ability, size, length. Julian Love got a lot of those things too, and I think he could even test better than K'Lavon Chaisson at the Combine. This guy's an athletic freak, and all of those things, the opposite of what Clelin Ferrell is. This guy has some actual juice, a jetpack on his back at the start. I think he's a guy that with all the tools that could actually mold into a premier pass rushing talent at the next level, not just a first-round run defender. I think Julian Love adds pass rush help early for the Oakland Raiders, and I think the value at 19 is easy to do.
One of my favorite sort of Julian Love fun facts, 245 pounds, he bull rushed Isaiah Wilson this year for a pressure. a 350-pounder. Bull rush Mekhi Becton this year for a pressure, 370
The two biggest out tackles.
Giving up over 100 pounds. He got bull rush pressures against those. The dude is explosive. All right, on to number 20, Jacksonville Jaguars, Xavier McKinney, Alabama. I think they would love the Jacksonville Jaguars with those needs, with what they threw out at safety last year.
Yeah.
They would love this pick.
Yeah, again, this is another one of those opportunities where one of the best players available is there to fill a need. Andrew Wingard is not going to cut it. Xavier McKinney, high floor across the board. I think he's got some of the best coverage play in this draft class. And what I loved, he's played over 500 defensive snaps at slot corner, free safety, and box safety over the past 2 years. This dude's got versatility and then some. Play him anywhere you like, move him around. I think that's what defenses want on the defensive side of the ball, is a moving chess piece. Xavier McKinney can be that and be that at a high level.
Well, not just versatile, not just having played there, but having played well there
true,
too.
True,
Very
true.
good. Yeah. So on to number 21, and I already hear the comment section. You're already getting me upset, actually. I'm upset at this. Jordan Elliott, Missouri. Love his game. Wide receiver, though, such a deep class. The Eagles have to take advantage of it. But you're getting good players, though.
Yeah, I mean, I know Eagles fans aren't going to love this pick. Jordan Elliott's not a first-round talent on a lot of people's board right now. He's not going to go in the first round probably in April's draft, considering what he can do. But what he can do, win at the line of scrimmage, win with his hands, and add as a pass rusher early on. Yes, they have Fletcher Cox, but Timmy Jernigan is entering unrestricted free agency. Malik Jackson only getting older. I think Jordan Elliott still kind of fills a need for the Philadelphia Eagles and is one of the best players available. Yes, they could go T. Higgins here. Maybe they dive into a Jalen Reagor, but Jordan Elliott, stick to your board. Draft good players, and I think Elliott is exactly that.
I just disagree. All right, on to number 22. We're going to go T. Higgins from Clemson to the Buffalo Bills. This fit is one of my favorite fits of the entire draft. This is one you're going to see probably mocked a ton because his catch radius, what he can do off target throws, shall we say?
He'll see us some
fits perfect with Josh Allen. We're not going to say why it fits perfect, but you know why it fits perfect.
T. Higgins can definitely help an off-target throw. He's got great range, great catch radius, ball skills, all those things, contested catchability. But I will say this, you said it too, this guy's actually fast. He's got some straight line speed. There's some props out there that he might run over under a 4.6. This guy's coming down on that. I think he's going to run. He could break into the 4.4s. T. Higgins has some straight line juice, and I think teams will be impressed with that. Bills will be impressed with that, and for the right reasons. I think T. Higgins, a top 5 receiver in this class at 22. Throw resource at things that can help Josh Allen. T. Higgins does that.
And he's also the kind of guy where when he's down the football field, he's long strider, he's faster than off at the line of scrimmage. So he is separating from guys down the field. All right, on to number 23. Oregon quarterback Justin Herbert. They get the quarterback of the future. Might not happen in the actual draft, but we could see the Patriots in a sort of trade-up position with how much draft capital.
Yeah, this won't happen. I mean, there's going to be a GM that falls in love with this 6'6", big-armed, great-haired quarterback. Okay, I'll tell you that right now. All it takes is one, and they're going to do it. But on PFF's big board, like I said, not a top 20 player, not a top 25 player. If he does slip to 23, I think the Patriots, the risk is worth it. You could maybe work with him to get better. But the concerns with Justin Herbert, doesn't play well against top defenses. Had an under 65.0 PFF passing grade against the best defenses he faced over the past 2 years. Justin Herbert, there are legitimate concerns, but at 23, swing the bat. Let's take the risk because I think he's a good enough quarterback in other ways to be a top player in the NFL.
Yeah, still has those special downfield throws that are easy to fall in love with. On to number 24 here, New Orleans Saints, Jalen Reagor. Some speed to that offense. I'm not sure Drew Brees is going to be able to hit him down the field with the way his arm is nowadays, but getting the ball in his hands, good things usually happen.
What Drew Brees can do for Jalen Reagor is throw the ball accurately. This past year, fewer than 31% of Jalen Reagor's targets were charted as on target or accurate in PFF's ball location charting. That was the 4th worst in the country. This guy needs some quarterback help. Give him Drew Brees, and I think the fit makes a ton of sense. I think at the value at 24, he's there. He's going to run in the low 4.3s, could crack 4.2s. This guy's got legitimate speed, great after the catch. I think his ball skills are underrated. I think he attacks the ball well despite his low catch radius. Jalen Reagor, deep receiver class. This is the 6th one off the board in the first round, and I really like it to New Orleans.
Yeah, that fit makes a little too much sense there. On to number 25, Minnesota Vikings. They need cornerback. Cameron Dantzler, love his game. Another guy, a little thin, but I think he continues to develop, only a junior at this point. You love what we've seen from him.
Showed up to Mississippi State's campus at 160 pounds and bulked up to 185, but he's maxed out right there. He can't get much bigger, and I think there are going to be teams that steer away from that for that reason. But his man coverage ability is good. I still think he's a dog, definitely a tough player, aggressive, and he's going to surprise some people with his speed. I was talking to a source at Mississippi State that he could crack the 4.4s. This guy's got legitimate straight line juice. I think Cameron Dantzler, long, sticky in man coverage. I think the Vikings do love their cornerbacks, and I think Dantzler at the back end of the first round will be great.
Yeah, the more you watch Dantzler, the more you fall in love with him. Dude just doesn't lose too much. All right, on to number 26. Taani Mutombo. They're targeting these small school guys here. They got Fresno State, they get Boise State earlier, but Taani Mutombo on the interior. You're actually helping that offensive line here on the interior. You get an NFL-ready guy.
Depending on who you talk to, Taani Mutombo is a bit of an urban legend. I mean, he was referred to by his teammates in 2018 as a mystical being that could lift a moose by himself and eat a 10x10 at In-N-Out. For the non-California people, a 10x10 is a lot of meat. But Taani Mutombo is this freak. He's just freakishly athletic. Size is huge. He's a strong player. The only problem is he's also got a lot of injury concerns. I think that's why he's going to fly under the radar in this draft. He's played fewer than 300 offensive snaps over the past 2 years because of injuries. But if this guy's healthy, I think he is that mystical being at the next level and the best interior offensive lineman in this class.
Yeah, I say torn Achilles back in 2017 or 2018, shoulder injury this past year. Not really related.
Yep.
I'm not sure those are huge concerns. And this guy, he doesn't need to put any weight on there. All right, on to number 27. We got the Seattle Seahawks. Trayvon Diggs, long pterodactyl-esque wingspan. The dude is perfect for the Seattle. I think this one you'll see a lot in mock drafts.
Take my wingspan and triple it. That's what Trayvon Diggs brings to the table. This guy's a pterodactyl, okay? This guy really beats people at the line of scrimmage with his length. He's not the fastest cornerback in this class. He's not going to test at the level of a Cameron Dantzler or others in this class, but what he will do is play man coverage at a high level, use his body very well, uses his hands very well, and technical, instinctive cornerbacks with good length. I mean, sign me up. I really do like Trayvon Diggs' game. And at the back end of the first round, I think you're going to see a run at cornerbacks with Dantzler, Trayvon Diggs, and some others.
I would say he's not going to be high on everyone's board because of just basically the skill set, but the skill set in any sort of press, heavy scheme, everyone's going to be running up to get that guy. All right, on to number 28, Baltimore Ravens. Brandon Ayuk, Arizona State wide receiver, some juice. Go pairing him with Marquise Brown. You just got playmakers now and speed on that track team in Baltimore.
Just because you have Lamar Jackson and Marquise Brown doesn't mean you should be turning away athletes at the door, okay? Bring in another guy with legitimate explosive ability, a JUCO transfer that didn't get a ton of opportunities until the other Arizona State receiver, N'Keal Harry, left for the New England Patriots. This past season, though, production was solid, great after the catch. I think he's still limited, still very raw, but an explosive athlete. Throw him in the Ravens offense and watch him work.
I was going to say, if you want a school scout, they are on the different ends of the spectrum in terms of what they do. N'Keal Harry, contested catch guy, physical, him, speedster, after the catch, that sort of player.
And for those counting, that is the 7th receiver in the first round, all 7 of PFF's top 7 receivers in this class.
It is a loaded class. All right, on to number 29, Tennessee Titans, Jaylen Johnson. He just makes you fall in love with the way he plays the game.
Absolutely. I mean, Malcolm Butler is only getting older. Logan Ryan, an unrestricted free agent. Adoree Jackson battling injuries and inconsistency. Again, best player available, fitting need for the Tennessee Titans. Jaylen Johnson just doesn't lose. He's allowed a 19.5 passer rating when targeted over the past 2 years on targets of 10+ yards. Doesn't give up the big play. This guy doesn't get beat, similar to Cameron Dantzler in that way. He doesn't face high-level competition like Cameron Dantzler did, but I really do like Jaylen Johnson's game. The more you watch him, the more you fall in love.
And also, who did they lose to in the AFC Championship game? Oh yeah, this team, Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
You're going to have to face Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs. You're going to have to beat him. You're going to have to stop him. You need some corners if you're in the AFC nowadays. All right, on to number 30. We have Denzel Mims, the Baylor wideout, going to the Green Bay Packers. Crushed at the Senior Bowl. I think he might crush it this week in Indy as well.
8 receivers in the first round. 30, Denzel Mims. This guy's very athletic, very explosive. And at Baylor, ran a limited route tree. Concerns for that reason. I think he ran those routes well, but there were some limitations. He goes to the Senior Bowl, runs a diverse route tree, and just blows it up. Beats down on the Senior Bowl cornerbacks, and rises up our board significantly for that reason. I think he's also going to have a good combine. Could take another rise after this week. I think Denzel Mims, not enough people are talking about him, but when you think about it, 8 receiver off the board. I mean, this receiver class is just stupid. Denzel Mims at 30. Again, you're getting another player that I think could be a number 1 receiver in the NFL.
Yeah, I think we're going to see why this receiver class is so special this week in Indy, because they're all freakishly athletic.
Yes,
like none of these guys
you
are
got several guys that are running in the 4.3s and 4.2s. I mean, this is a legit fast, athletic receiving class.
Exactly. I don't foresee a lot of bad combines, and get some explosiveness there in the Green Bay offense and some ball skills, because they need both. All right, on to 31, San Francisco 49ers, Ashton Davis, safety from California. They obviously have Jimmy Ward, going to be a free agent, and he fits perfectly in any single high sort of scheme as that middle of the field guy.
This is another one of my favorite fits in this mock draft. Ashton Davis, keep him home, former track star, walk-on at Cal. I talked to him at the Senior Bowl. He said he had to send a few emails to the athletic director just to get a chance at playing football. Well, now he's a first-round talent on PFF's big board, rangy athlete. People doubt him, knock him for his toughness. I think he's a tough player. I think he's going to get better in the NFL with better coaching. That range isn't going away. That speed isn't going away. He's also a very smart player. I think Ashton Davis just scratching the surface and already performing at a high level.
Wow, shots fired at Cal's coaching staff right there. All right, on to 32. Kansas City Chiefs. We said it was a need last year. I think they kind of skated by with it, with the corners that they have, but now they get to address it. Jeff Gladney, TCU, long speed.
Dantzler, Diggs, Jaylen Johnson, Jeff Gladney, all in the back half of the first round. This cornerback class, don't let these guys slip to the second. Jeff Gladney, I think, has a chance to run in the 4.3s. He's an athletic freak. Junkyard dog, as Dane Brugler has described him, of the athletic. I love that that description for him. There's a play with Jeff Gladney where he does a pass break. He's chatting him out all the way back to the huddle, baby. Love Jeff Gladney's game after the whistle. Also, before the whistle, a very good player in his own right. Limits players, before the catch. I think he's very aggressive, has good recovery speed. I think Gladney, another one of those good corners in this class that I don't think should slip to round 2.
Yeah, I think he very well may run in the 4.3s this week in Indy. There you have it, though. Your latest mock draft. If you want to go to PFF.com, check out the breakdown of all these players. Austin Gayle, hey, congrats, man. Good job here.
Thanks.
All right, go to PFF YouTube channel. Check out 2-for-1 Drafts. We're the hosts of it, and thanks for watching.
You want to get rid of me and get back to more great PFF YouTube content? All you have to do is push that button right there and subscribe. Thanks for watching.